What's up everyone, Tom from the Airsoft headquarters here, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about everything Elite Force Glock today because it has been brought to my attention multiple times about some of the confusion and things that people don't know and miscommunication about certain products. So we're just going to completely information dump absolutely everything about all Elite Force Glocks, Glocks that are currently on the market in the US as of right now, which is March 16th, 2021. So if any future Glocks come out, I will do videos about those, but they're not gonna be a part of this video. So we're gonna get into it. So with the Elite Force Glocks, there are currently 3 different tiers that are being manufactured from Umarex. Now, Umarex is just the license holder, so they're not being manufactured by Umarex. Two different companies are manufacturing the Glocks, and then Umarex is the license holder for Glock and does the licensing and quality control standards that Glock is expecting. So very first one is going to be the non-blowback, and then we have a half-blowback, and then there's the full-blowback. So the non-blowback Glock that is currently on the market is going to be the Glock 19 Gen 3 non-blowback. I currently don't have any of those in front of me, but it looks, I guess, similar enough to this, the Glock 19 that I have here, just without the stippling on here. But it's a non-blowback, so every time you pull the trigger, it actuates the internal mechanism to propel the BB outward. On the non-blowbacks, the slide do not move at all, and you're going to get a smaller stick style of magazine instead of a full-size magazine. The non-blowback, if memory serves me correctly, is $70. I have to double check that again because I don't have it in front of me. Then we have the half blowbacks, and with the half blowbacks, we have the 19X down here in front of me as the example. Otherwise, we have the Glock 17 Gen 4 and Glock 17 Gen 5 for half blowbacks. And the way that those look is I have the 19X in front of me. The best way to distinguish a half blowback is with the magazine out. It is going to be a silver top. This is the best way to identify if a Glock is a half blowback if you're looking on the new or pre-owned market. With the half blowbacks as well, half blowback refers to the slide only reciprocating half of the total length that a full blowback would. So a full blowback, pull that out, goes back just a little further. So that is the difference there. With the half blowback, these cannot disassemble. Part of the trigger mechanism is going to push the BB up into the hop-up chamber and also actuates those internal mechanisms to release the gas behind that BB. So that's what we have there for half blowbacks. Again, that's the 19X, 17 Gen 4, and 17 Gen 5 that are half blowback, or at least some of those models are half blowback. Those are coming about $100 to $130. So now we get into the full blowback Glocks, and this is where most of the confusion comes from. With the full blowback Glocks, there are 2 different types of propellants. There's green gas and then CO2. There are also 2 different manufacturers on the between the CO2 side of things. There's the KWC and there's the VFC manufactured Glock. Again, all of those are coming from Umarex, which is the license holder. So the KWC Glock 17 is going to most closely resemble this guy right here, which is going to be the Glock 17 Gen 4. The KWC is going to be utilizing a a standard length of magazine, utilizing Gen 4 style of grips, stuff like that. The KWC Glock is shooting up 360 feet per second out of the box. A little too hot for most indoor fields. And that's the biggest difference between the CO2 17 Gen 4, which this is my model, a 17 Gen 4 that I have some aftermarket stuff on. And with CO2 magazines, the stock one was shooting 300 to 330 feet per second. Your VFC Glock 17 is not going to look like this, but I do have one in my collection, and it is this guy right here. The base plates are going to be a +2 style. My CO2 base plates have either fallen off or broken off, but this is the type of magazine that it would look like. So With the CO2 full blowbacks, the VFC model for the easiest distinction is going to be coming with that +2 extension base plate versus the KWC, which is going to be utilizing a flat base plate. With the CO2 models as well, there is the Glock 34, which is on the market. This one I have right here. The 34 is going to be a slightly extended length of slide. And again, comes with, because this is the VFC CO2, it does come with that +2 extension. But between the 17 and the 34 does have a little bit more length on the 17. So these are the VFC CO2 full blowback, Glock 34 and Glock 17 Gen 4. And then we have the green gas ones, which again do get a little bit of confusion. So the very first one is going to be the Glock 19. This one is the green gas full blowback. So a little bit shorter style of grip. This one has a little bit of stippling. With the full blowbacks as well, these can disassemble, and the easiest way to identify it's the Glock 19. VFC is the fact that the slide blows back and can hold back. Otherwise, it would be the 19 non-blowback. There's currently no other Glock 19s on the market on the licensed side of things. We then also have the 19X. Now, if you haven't seen my other video where I compared the WeTech to the VFC Glock 19X, you can go check that video up over in this time card. But spoiler alert, the VFC Elite Force Glock 19X is better because it still operates with missing half of the frame here. Green gas style of magazine. With the 19X, it is the most unique style of pistol with the Glock series, in my personal opinion, because it does feature a full length style of grip, but a compact length of slide. And again, this is the full blowback. What is unique is that this was one of the first ones that utilizes the newer style of follower system that does a better job of handling the recoil from CO2. So when it comes to the green gas pistols, I personally utilize the VFC CO2 mags on the VFC green gas pistols that are utilizing the Gen 4 Gen 4 Plus style of follower system. And that is best identified with these dual spring guide setup. With that, spring guide does do a better job of handling that CO2, and you can get good performance. I would not suggest utilizing the VFC CO2 magazine on your full blowback Glock 19, nor would I suggest using the CO2 magazines on your 17 Gen 3. On the 17 Gen 4, if it's still utilizing the dual spring CO2, dual spring recoil spring guide rod, then it is usable. I am also utilizing the VFC CO2 magazines on the Glock 17 Gen 5, which comes with the green gas magazine. It is the full blowback using CO2 mags. Overall, really, really good performance. I like it a lot. So have that in there, have used it, tested it, really, really good performance. And then we also come to the Glock 18C. Now with the Glock 18C, this one is going to be green gas as well, most noted for coming with the extended magazine and utilizing a select fire style of slide. So it's got oil all over it. So with this one, this is utilizing the Gen 3 style of spring guide rod in order to deal with a lower pressure of green gas, or as well as mimicking the Gen 3 style of grip that is currently utilized on this. Now, when it comes to the 18C specifically, with that 50 round extended magazine, we haven't had the best of performance here in the colder state of Wisconsin. So we don't generally suggest utilizing these. I know they're very, very, very popular. However, specifically for performance-driven style of pistol, here in Wisconsin, don't get good performance. And I also would not suggest using the CO2 magazine in the Green Gas 18C. Don't suggest it. I just straight up don't suggest it. So you have those right there. Again, this is the full blowback, but I would suggest continuing to use Green Gas magazines on. For anyone that does not know, Green Gas has an output pressure of 115 PSI versus CO2, depending on manufacturer, has an output pressure of 900 PSI. So the CO2 magazines have a better regulatory system inside of there to have less pressure escape the top of that nozzle system, versus Green Gas, it's 115 PSI, way less in pressure compared to CO2. So generally, in most cases, you would not utilize CO2 magazines in Green Gas pistols. There are some of those Green Gas pistols that do have the better spring guide recoil rod in order to deal with that higher pressure, that heavier recoil system that certain other Green Gas pistols do not come with. So just so you guys know, as that heads up. And currently, that is it that we have here as far as pistols in the US. We are going to be getting the Glock 42, and there is also the overseas, there's the GHK Glock 17, which it is licensed, so not 100% on getting those inside of here. But again, that's what we have as of right now overseas. I've talked about everything that we have here in the US, so hopefully this was giving you guys plenty of information for you guys. If you had any questions, if you do have any further questions, put them down in the comment section below. I'll do my very best to answer them to the best of my abilities. And with that, we're all done here. So you guys take care, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.